everybody, and welcome to 3 OGs from the League. I'm your moderator, Ashley Stroehlein, joined by my co-host, and as you know them, NBA legends, Muggsy Bogues, Charles Oakley, and Earl Cureton. Guys, how's it going this week?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good, Ash.
Ready to get started.
All right.
Let's see.
Any truth to the rumors that Harding wants to go to Philadelphia? I heard some rumors that he's talking about that's one place he might want to go. How would that work?
I got something better than that. Would you trade James Harden for Ben Simmons?
That's the only way. That's the only way it works.
The only way to fit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't need him if you can't have Simmons and Harden on the same team.
No.
So would you trade Simmons for Harden? You trying to win right now? Or you gonna hope that Ben Simmons shoots up jump shot more and one? He shot one last year, maybe shoot two this year.
If I was both organizations, I'll make the move.
Oh, no doubt, bro.
You know, it'd be good for Ben Simmons and John Wall, you know, in that sense, in terms of him trying to redevelop. But it'd be great for Embiid and Harden to match up with having Doc Rivers, you know, at the Twirl. So
Philly could pull that off.
Yeah, that would be a good, interesting twosome to kind of match up together.
I think it'll work. I remember I called and told Muggs that a lot of the topics we talk about seem like the big networks talk about them the next 2 days afterwards. So they're gonna definitely talk about this and watch.
I had a brain lock. I had a brain lock on DeMarcus Cousins. When we was talking about Giannis, I was saying he should get on the phone and call DeMarcus Cousins up because he's one of those guys that had the huge contract and turned it down, and they had back-to-back injuries, and now he's just on almost a make good contract down in Houston now.
Yeah, he's just thankful to get that deal this year.
Right.
Exactly. I think he left $100 million on the table.
How's his health?
That's a big question mark. He had 3 serious injuries, you know.
But he had a lot of issues too, though, Earl. You got to think about it.
Well, he's got himself in a situation now. I know he wish he would have took that $100 million they offered him down in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But grass ain't always green on the other side. I tell you.
That's for sure. Learn it the hard way, though. Any teams? I know it's we haven't started the season or even the preseason yet, but any teams that you think are kind of flying under the radar that could be teams we're going to see in the playoffs later on in the season?
I heard that question. I thought about it. That's a tough one. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It ain't tough.
No, I mean under the radar. I mean
under the radar,
like teams like what Denver. Denver team wouldn't be considered under the radar, would it? Or Portland, they wouldn't be considered under the radar.
Maybe Golden State this year. I don't. Clay ain't there, but they still gonna have to work. To get in the playoffs. The West gonna be tough. So I think it's gonna be Golden State with Clay probably been a 4 or 5, but now without Clay, they could be an 8 seed or out. They still, even though they got Curry and Draymond and the young fella Weiss, but still they got to prove themselves now.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they put out there and how quickly the young fella can develop. How he can really contribute to to their success.
All right, so how about this for a hot topic? The league recently announced that they will fine teams $100,000 if they choose to rest healthy players for a nationally televised game. Thoughts on that?
Not enough money.
What?
No, it needs to be $1 million.
Yeah, because I don't pay that.
You can't tell a guy that he don't have a symptom or flu or something the day before, and then the day of a game or something. He wake up, the next thing he say, "I'm not feeling well." So it'd be hard for them to control that narrative with that saying that they say, "Hey, we expect guys to play, and we know things happen." Number one, they should be playing anyway. So the league gonna have a lot of problems with this, and then because the corona is still out there in a worse way, and now you're gonna find a guy because he's saying he don't want to play in a game. That's gonna be a hard one to do. I'm with the playoffs on that one. So
yeah. And the big test is gonna be coming up on the 22nd. Christmas. The Christmas game, and you already got some players already saying, "Hey, we're not gonna be. Definitely not gonna be there for the opening, and then the preseason." But it's gonna be interesting. I mean, again, it's a quick turnaround, and I'm quite each organization gonna make sure that they can protect their star players and make sure they're doing the right thing. And just like Oak said, it's gonna be very hard to kind of control to say, if somebody ill a night before to say they not ill and you got to play, and how you going to really contest.
I think there's going to be a lot of cutting minutes. Players won't play as many minutes, especially at the beginning of the year, the season first start. A lot of the star players they're not going to play the normal minutes that they play. I think
Earl, aim about 5 stars. Go ahead.
Well, those 5 stars, then they're gonna cut their minutes. Well, I think that's what I mean. That's a way around it. I mean, you take a guy, you don't put him out there. Especially if they get leads, LeBron and them, they'll set them early in the season because everybody know when the playoff time comes, you want to have everybody healthy and ready to go. So you're gonna see a lot of that. I think, especially this year, you're gonna see guys coming in and not playing a whole lot of minutes. They're gonna manage the load like that.
The team still want to win. And you still, in the West, you still got to jock yourself position. I like everybody say you can win on the road, but my thing is, if you want the home court advantage, anytime you can get it, no matter, because teams, like I say, Denver did it this year, but it ain't going to happen too often. Teams just win on the road like they did. But we'll see what happens.
No. And it's going to be a different scenario, too. We're going to be in each other's arenas as opposed to just being in the bubble, even though you're not going to have any fans. But you're still going to be traveling to, people feeling comfortable in their own arena, in their own. So
that's got to be hard to understand for somebody like you, for you, Muggs and Oak. I mean, because there ain't no way in the world when we play, you guys would want to sit out a game. I mean, I played with both of y'all. I mean, y'all played major minutes, during that time. I know Oak wouldn't have sat down unless something was seriously wrong. And Muggs, I know ain't no way they was going to let you was going to go sit down unless something was seriously wrong. And you played with injuries back then. So it's kind of hard to understand that,
Yeah. Well, again, it's a different mentality these days. These guys are, the game is different, of course, but it's a different mentality. These guys are resting for different reasons, and the organization allowed them to do so. And it's still 82 games, no less games than we played.
Well, they ain't cutting now. The 72.
No. Now it's cut it to 72, and
that's gonna be the norm now. They're gonna be, even though they have a full season next year, they still gonna be 72. They're not going back up. It was something they were talking about for a couple of years ago. I heard that from somebody, and they say, "Yeah, we're gonna cut it. Get the players. They cut the back-to-backs. Now they cut the game. They gave them 4 days extra for All-Star weekend. What's next?"
Well, they started with preseason. They cut those preseason games last year, right at the beginning. So now they're going into the regular season and start cutting games. So. Yeah,
they've been wanting to get down to 72 games for quite some time with the CBA, but now they found a way to do it, and I guarantee it's going to be going forward. I'm quite sure they're going to go forward every season, here to come.
All right, before we wrap up Hot Topics, one growing trend that we've kind of been seeing, top high school prospects, instead of going to college, they're going overseas to play ball. What do you guys think of kids choosing to go that route?
Go ahead, Earl.
No, I think a lot of guys are doing it, especially since it's one and done right now. I mean, what sense do it make? I mean, they can get more experience, going overseas, playing against better talent, grown men when they go over there, get their bodies ready, give them a year of experience and make some money while they're over there. So I think a lot of them are probably opt to do it rather than go to college, and they don't get paid to go to college. They'll get paid to go over there and better their game. So I think guys are going to start doing that.
Well, I think the NBA is really now starting to try to answer that question. They creating the opportunity for the kids to try to stay here and play in the G League. Now the salary has gone up. It used to be $125, $1,000 for a player. Now I think you got a kid that's making $500,000. I believe his name.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Is making probably $500,000 now. So I think they trying to, create opportunity for the guys to now stay here as opposed to going overseas. Kids now don't need they can have an agent. They don't have to, for college players, and they don't necessarily give up their amateur status. They can still make a decision to go back to college if they choose so. So I think the NBA is trying to address, some of those concerns of keeping the players here as opposed to going overseas.
I think it's good for younger guys if they want to go there or either go to college for 1 year, but to go overseas, like I said, play against older guys and get paid and get build your body up another year. I think it's a great idea. So I think they're going to take a hit on college, not the league. You're going to take a hit on college because the talent you see last year, how smaller schools were beating the major school last year. And it's happening right now. So
it's already taking a hit. Yeah,
so
it's parity.
All the talent in college is balancing out now because even though these big name schools getting a good player, they're only good in their regency. Now you get some guys from these other schools play good, just as good as them guys. Now you're like, wow. So the talent, everything is balancing out now with college and all that stuff.
And what also, and just to piggyback with that, but what you're kind of seeing a little bit in college, that a lot of those kids that stand more years at universities are starting to have a lot more impact in the game. You look at Gonzaga, those not the schools that have the one and done type of situation. You look at Duke and Kentucky, who's now struggling, at today's, in today's game, because they have those so-called one and done players, and it's just not managing out that way.
All right, shall we move on to fan questions? What the fans have for us this week? The first fan question we have today: who was the best to play that never won a ring?
Wow.
Charles Oakley.
No. What's the ex-GM for the Baylor, for the Clippers?
Oh, you talking about Elgin Baylor?
Elgin Baylor, yeah, he was the best.
Elgin Baylor.
Elgin never won a ring, man.
I think he never won a ring.
No,
he was in LA all those years. He didn't win it in LA. He wasn't. I thought he was on the championship team.
No, he was gone then. He didn't win it. He didn't win it.
Really? Yeah, well, that's definitely one right there. That's a good one there. You
gotta go with the legends. The guys in our era to win, they didn't win because they weren't smart enough. Like a Barkley, like Patrick, Karl Malone. They were one-trick pony. They couldn't make guys better. And you look at all the guys who made the other players better, maybe some Shaq, but other guys can make other guys better. When your best player don't make the team better, you're not gonna win in this game.
Yeah. Did Nick got one with San Antonio?
I don't think so. I know he played there, but I don't think he won a championship with them. No.
I don't think so.
He didn't get one with them?
No. No, that's a good one though, Elgin Baylor. I didn't realize that. I know he was with LA a lot of years. Everybody probably just assumed he's got a championship ring though.
Well, they said Jerry West played in my 8 finals on a 1-1.
Only 1-1.
They always talk about LeBron on the 1 4 out of 10. They don't tell nothing about Jerry West, but
he was on the sock, so he's the logo.
Yeah, he's the logo. he on the back. He on the backboard. I met him before. I like Jerry West. But they always talk about numbers and stats. They kill me with that.
Yeah. I had opportunity to add to the list too. Jerry was a great guy to meet.
A lot of clutch shots. He hit a lot of them for the money.
Who?
Jerry West.
Yeah, well, he couldn't hit it.
That's his nickname, Mr. Clutch.
Yeah, but I don't know how. If you win 1 out of 8 championships, you can't be clutch.
He was there.
Call him reverse.
It took a lot to get there. I'll tell you that. He got the 8 of them.
Hey, Earl, you said he on the clutch. I'm saying he in reverse. So he's like reverse. Call him 6 here. You got a 5 speed.
He said call him 6.
Call him 6 here.
All right, next fan question. Muggsy, I saw you rocking the Hornets new City Edition uniform. I'm jealous that you have one. Yes, you're repping some gear today, but a lot of cool releases this year. Some not so great ones. I'm a fan of the Hornets one, but out of the ones you guys have seen, which team you think has the best new city uniforms for the 2021 season?
What looked crazy was Miami and Phoenix.
I saw those.
Yeah, Miami and Phoenix. I seen Chris Paul, the big guy, and Booker. Then I seen the Miami one. They did the Miami Vice look. The Miami. They did the movie, the TV series, Miami Vice. Yeah. So I haven't seen the one else.
I like the 313. We got the 313 up here in Detroit.
Okay.
Got the brand new logo. 313. The logo's sweet too. So
I think I saw D Rose rocking it.
They need to get some wins behind that, but I like the logo though. The logo bigger than the team right now. Yeah. So we'll see. The 313 they got it sweet.
Well, I like the Hornets mint. I like the mint. I like the mint. It really kind of stood out, and it got a little significant meaning behind it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. We got one more fan question for you guys. When you have fans talk to you or you're doing interviews, what question are you tired of being asked? Is there one question that you get and you're just like, oh, here we go again? Muggs is thinking of one.
Well, I mean,
it's hard to say because we ask you so many, you do so much, and so many different questions come to you. But maybe like, a lot of them like, what happened in Game 7 in Houston or something like that. But we lost. That will happen.
I think one of the dumbest questions that you think you're gonna win tonight. You think you're gonna win this game tonight? I mean, what, how you answer that? How you really answer a question like that when they ask you that?
Right.
You think you're gonna win? You think you're gonna win? You think it's a possibility you can win this game tonight? So you guys just look at the report and say, okay, what you want me to say? No, we don't have a chance.
Well, of course, for me, it's always the short joke. What it's like, being short out there playing with the guys. Mm-hmm. So that's always the question that everybody always asking. Get tired of asking.
I'm taking notes because, from my other job, I have to ask all the questions just like I do with you guys. So I know now what people don't want to be asked about. Rapid fire. I'll give you guys a name or a topic and you tell me what comes to mind.
All right.
All right. Let's start with Jimmy Butler.
Special defense. I don't know. You want one word or 20 words? No.
Up to you. Your call.
Just feisty leader.
I have to say up and coming star. He's on his way. He might be the next one in this league if he keeps playing like he played in the finals this year.
He's a bulldog. He ain't backing down from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I should have said what was his hairstyle? Was it Django?
Django on chain.
Yeah.
Nah, he's up and coming. There's no question about it. They got to start mentioning his name in the same breath with the top dogs up there now. The way if he continue to keep playing the way he played this year,
both ends of the floor too.
Yeah. And he proved a lot too. I like the way he went to Philly and it wasn't a fit. He didn't like it. He was down there with the young boys. They didn't want to listen, and he went and got a group and led that group and went all the way to the finals with them last year. That's why I'm interested to see what they're gonna do this year when they come back. Will he be able to continue to carry a team like he did in the playoffs? So
he got his name back in the top 10 in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top 10 celebrity. I know during the playoffs, they would say he was beginning the playoffs. He was a top 30, 40. Now he's back in the top 10 by taking Miami to the finals, taking LA 6 game, had 2 amazing games. So you got to give him his credit. And the guys from Miami team were just fighting. They're underdog, but they still, won 2 games. They could have got 12.
Yeah. All right, Los Angeles Clippers.
A lot to prove.
Earl?
Yeah. It's going to be a tough task for Tyronn Lue this year, coming in with 2 superstars that he was assistant coach. Now, it's different when you sit on the right side of Doc. Now you sit in Doc's seat. Now you got to have your whole mind saying, got to change into I can't talk to him the same way I did. Now I'm in front. I got to show him that I can deserve to be here. And at all times, I can't show weakness. And I think he's going to be able to do that because he did it in Cleveland. LeBron, when he had Love and Kyrie, he showed some toughness. And I think he's going to have to come out the gate, show him that, hey, I'm the coach. You got to listen to the details, and that's how we're going to be.
I just have to say question mark. They lost. They lost. Paul George going to have to prove that he's that guy. I think, he's a little inconsistent this year and really didn't step up the way they thought he was going to step up. They lose the 6th man of the year from that team. It's going to be a question mark is the only thing I can say about the Clippers.
Well, and Oak, you kind of brought it up. Now Ty's going to be sitting in Doc's chair, but Paul George kind of criticized Doc earlier in the week. And Doc was asked about it, and he's like, well, what do you mean? Like, he was my right-hand guy. You're getting more of the same. So how do you think their relationship's going to play out?
Well, I think Paul George needs to set up and play basketball. He got a lot to prove to his teammate by guys coming back home, want the max money, and not playing up to the potential. So these guys doing too much talking. They want too much. They go their way. When it's time to put their team on their back, they can't do it. So just set up and play basketball. All these guys who doing this extra talking about Doc the coach. Yeah, he's the coach, but you supposed to be a guy on the floor can make a difference. Make a difference. So when you make a difference, you're making a difference, making him look good because he ain't shooting the ball or defending nobody or rebound. No, play with some hard. Stop playing soft.
Yeah, and I think, and when I said a lot to prove, with the addition with Serge Ibaka and, of course, with Ty now being the head guy, and, of course, being assistant last year, and guys pretty much, confiding in him. But as Oak said, he's been in that head seat before, and he's won a championship in that head seat before, and he's dealt with all sorts of all-stars as well as dealing with the best player in the world. at the time right now, which is LeBron James. So him bringing Paul George and getting Kawhi Leonard on the same page and adding, Serge Ibaka, I think they're gonna give him. I think they're gonna have a more of an identity, I should say, this year as opposed to last year because they were so up and down. I think this year would be, an identity of what the Clippers will be going forward.
All right.
Who takes the blame when you up 3-1 and you lose the series? And they did that with Doc a couple of times. So what do you put that blame on? Did that go on the coach or did that go against your star players?
I got a question better. They didn't say that when Golden State lost to Cleveland down 3-1. So
that's true.
With Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr. I mean,
yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah,
the playoffs got to take the responsibility too, though.
Absolutely, that's what I say. It goes both ways.
They lost. They was up in all three of them, 15, 17,
right.
12 one time.
Yeah. So what do you put that blame at? Is that like you said, the coach ain't playing. The coach is on the sideline calling the shots. But if you go up 3-1, he was doing something right. So. You got to look. Players got to start looking each other in the face and say, "How we let this happen?"
Well, momentum changes, but then confidence changes too. Guys get a little tight. It's hard to get a little greasy needle up there. Because it gets so tight, and when things happen, all of a sudden they start trying to get the game over before it's over with. The next it's 3-2, 3-3. Then all of a sudden they out of it.
Yep.
All right. What comes to mind when I say the name Brad Stevens?
Of course, and Margaret. Because he's been there for 8 years, and they got some talent, but they, Boston probably expect to be in the finals at least 2 out of 8 years. So he's a young coach, but we thought Kyrie was the problem, and they got rid of Kyrie. They thought he wanted his guy Haywood from Utah. He got there, got hurt, didn't show. Now, they question him like, okay, can you move the next needle? The next needle is get Boston to the finals.
Yeah.
I said overrated early on, and but he's a great coach. He's more sustained himself. I think a lot of people was really giving him so much high, based on how Celtics was competing, during his early years, and rightfully so. But I think once talent mature, those guys a little older. Now you got to coach them a certain way, and I think this year was probably the best year they had an opportunity to really get to that finals. And he failed on that part. Bringing in Kemba Walker, and you thinking that now you got that added piece, getting away from Kyrie Irving, and you think he meshed in well with the other two stars in Brown and Tatum, but you wasn't able to get it done. So that's why I say that they was overrated to the point to where he wasn't able to accomplish those goals.
The magic is wearing off. I mean, I watched him in college. I think that's where he gained his reputation at with Butler when he took them to the NCAA finals 2 years in a row, mid-major school like that. I actually had a chance to broadcast and watch a lot of those games when he was down there. But he came in, the height was high on him. He came in winning and was able to control the team. And now they're starting to look at him like, okay, when are you going to get this done? You got the players. I think Danny Ainge's done a good job of putting the talent in there and around him. So he's going to have to step up to the plate now and see if he can get the team where they need to be at. And that's winning another championship. That's what Boston is accustomed to. And that's what they do. So if you're in Boston, eventually you got to win championships.
Yeah. Y'all know that in the NBA, when you build a team, you only get 2 or 3 year window for the most. And I think Boston, that window, even though they got young players, I know they're going to be fighting every year for the win of the division and try to get to the finals, but seems like the numbers will never lie in some situations. And you build a team to get these pieces and get everything to click, come there, and then you get three good years to coach it. Hayward's gone this year now. I don't know if they're going to replace him with who, whatever, but they still got some of their core guys, Taylor and Brown, and got Smart. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of pressure on them guys this year because last year was their year. And they didn't get there because, you look at Milwaukee. It was Milwaukee years to get there. Look what they got. They went on, second round again, first round? So you got all these guys supposed to be moving the needle. The playoffs come, they're going backwards now.
Then you got also Kemba. Kemba going to be out to January.
That's why he out. So they starting over. Yeah.
Same thing in Philadelphia. Same situation. You know, they go to the Eastern Conference Finals against Toronto, and then they come up short this year. You know, they let a Jimmy Butler get out of there, and they signed Tobias Harris to a long term. Even though I like Tobias a lot, but I mean the moves they don't made. And you look at Philly, you thought maybe they'd be back in the Eastern Conference Final making a bid for the championship. So they're in the same type of situation.
Yeah, well, I guess the East is all the teams basically like that, because the only team who really made a move was when LA got AD, and then LeBron got back healthy. Look what happened. Second year, you know, it's a process. Now, the Clippers, I give them a little excuse this year, but not saying to blame Doc. But now Doc gone. Now you got a new coach. Can he take over? Can he take over where Doc left off, Teron Lue? They got to start back at the building block. Now you got around 3 or 4 year players. So the Clippers got to rebuild now. They taking a step back. And so now Denver coming back up, Portland, Utah. So we'll see what happens.
All right. What about when I say the name D Rose?
Ooh.
He here in Detroit. We love him up here in Detroit. But, love to see him have an opportunity.
Detroit, but he's only playing 15 minutes a night.
Yeah,
I know. And
they got him on the low management, but he had a good year last year. I mean, he played. I mean, the minutes they were careful. They didn't want him to get injured again. We'll see what happens. But it would be nice. You know, I know some contenders were interested in taking him. He showed that he still can play this game at a high level last year. There's no question about that. Now, can he play it with a lot of minutes and consistently and get it done like that? That'll be the next step for him. And if he's going to do it, it has to be with a team that, you know, he can take over the hump.
Yeah, I think D Rose, I would love to see him on a contender because he has so much knowledge, so much he can bring to the game. And then as you just mentioned, he still got a lot to bring to the table. You know, a good 20 minutes to come in there and spell somebody on 15 to 20, whatever that may be. And then some nights, you know, if a starter have to go down, he can step up and give you, you know, maybe a week of starting. But being that main guy in Detroit, you know, that's going to be tough for him, you know, at this time with his health, you know, and I don't know all the pieces that's around him. But knowing him, you know, like I said, he's the MVP. You know, the guy's a warrior. The guy come from a background that he won't quit. But I just think that at this stage of his career, I would love to see him be with a contender as opposed to trying to carry a team.
Well, I never seen a guy that we talking about load managing and the team can't win 25 games. So why is it a load manager? You know, so I mean, I can see you going to the playoff every year. We won 55, 60 games. But I don't know. It's just, you know, he went to a team, they gave him some money, a 2-year deal. And, you know, I think Detroit getting the best of it because, like I said, Earl said he come in the game, he make the other guys better. But like I say, you still can't play them 15, 20 minutes a night, and then your team not making the playoffs. So I don't know what to say about that, but it is what it is. It's not mind control. I guess Detroit just want, you know, try to get some fans to come to a game because he's a brand. He's a brand.
Oh, they love him up here. He came in and instantly took over. I mean, if Detroit is like this, he's a fit. You know, he fit like a shoe. I know I don't want him to leave Detroit. I mean, even though I know he should, you know, probably should be with a better team, but I love going to watch him play. That's a guy I like watching play.
Damian Lillard, what comes to mind when you hear his name?
Just a great point guard, feisty. He loves his team, and I think this guy is dedicated to Portland. He tried to go out and win every night. It's just some type of, over the years, always been with Portland, some always stick with him. Just seem like they never can win a big game, and the players some of them just don't play smart.
Dame Dollar?
Dame Dollar.
I mean, rap star too. We can talk about his
Dame Dollar. It's his rap career. Yeah. Nah, he's an exciting player. He's an exciting performer right there. I mean, you know, he's got a lot of good years, I think, left in front of him. You know, I mean, the sky's the limit with him. I mean, he's put some shows on. He can shoot that basketball. I mean, and Portland is a team that they kind of, you know, underachieve. If they can get everybody healthy, they got their bigs back last year in the playoffs, and you know, they a little bit too late. They didn't get over the hump. But I tell you what, those two guards, him and McCullough, they put on the showdown there night in and night out. So I like seeing those two out on the floor. He's got a lot to bring to the table. He's another one of the upcoming stars in the league that's exciting to watch to play.
Oh, absolutely. Dame Dollar, just look where he came from and look how he done it. Look how he built his brand. You know, he wasn't expected to be the guy that we're talking about right now. a superstar, or I should say star player that we're talking about now. You know, for me, I got Damian Lillard as one of the top 3 point guards in the league right now.
No, no doubt.
You know, so it's really not that hard to argue. You know, the type of performance he display every night on the court and how he uplifts his team. And then again, he shows he's one of those players that willing to say, listen, I'm not going anywhere. I want to join no other star. If you want to, you know, come here, then so be it. And this is how I'm going to do it. And, you know, and look what happened with Melo, you know, open arms, allow Melo to come in, be Melo again, to be able to contribute and be himself and not let him, you know, take a seat back. So, you know, I got all the respect for a guy like that, especially the way he did it and where he came from.
All right, we've got a new segment tonight. I'm pretty excited about this, the play behind the play. So we're going to bring up some iconic NBA moments. We'll play the clip, and as the clip's taking place, you're going to let us know your thoughts. Sound good?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start with the 2016 NBA Finals, Game 7, when LeBron chases down Iggy for the block.
I was there.
You was in the house, big fella?
Oh, yeah. Cleveland was in the house. That's the final, baby.
That's right.
I was sitting right above that on the right-hand side. But JR was there. He did a cameo just to, you know, slow him up a little bit.
Yeah, to make him kind of duck, squinch under.
Yeah. I'm surprised Iggy didn't dunk it, though. He had his leg back then, too. He got good leg.
Yeah.
Probably didn't know he was coming. That reminds me of the same play Tayshaun Prince had over Reggie Miller in Indiana years ago. When he chased him down and blocked a shot against the glass like that. And Reggie slowed up and didn't think that nobody was coming like that. And
Reggie ain't got no legs though, Earl.
Yeah.
Reggie,
but I mean, at the same,
Reggie barely can dunk.
But he had some steps on him though. He could have just went in there and laid, but he slowed down. He slowed down and took his time, and out of nowhere, Tayshaun came and wiped it out. I mean, that's been a highlight.
Yeah, that's a great block.
But I'd say that LeBron, he was covering both sides too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Iggy would look like he wasn't the verse, look like he'd been ready for that too. That was an amazing block though.
All right, shall we take it back to 2004? We're gonna go Houston taking on San Antonio. Tracy McGrady, 13 points in 33 seconds.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I watched this earlier. It's incredible the way he put up. I mean, everything he took, even the bad shots was going in. Also, you know, falling back, falling down.
Though.
Yeah. That was in the zone right there.
Yeah. Every time he got it, he went into a straight zone. Only time I ever seen anything close to that is back when New York and when we played in the playoffs against. It was New York, Detroit back in my time when Isaiah had 16 points in a minute. You know, against them in a playoff game.
Well, Reggie had 8 points in 10 seconds.
And 10 seconds, like Ray said.
Yeah, but 33 seconds and 10 seconds. Incredible. I think it was 116 with Isaiah, something like that, a minute, 16 points, which was that was an incredible performance as well.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you keep your Isaiah in your mouth, don't you?
Well, I played with the man 3 years. Though. What you want me to tell you? Man, you have to agree with me. He's a great player. You know, it might be some other things there. You know.
Yeah, he is some other things. A lot of things. I don't talk about him. I just think he's a good player. That's it. he can't get a ride.
Hey, as long as we're on the same page about him being a good player, you know, we're gonna leave it at that.
I'm gonna ask Walker D is a good player.
Oh, okay.
Okay, on that note, let's go to our third clip for this segment. We're going to go back to the 2014 playoffs. First round in the West. We talked about him earlier, but Dame Lillard knocking down the buzzer beater to win the series. We'll have the clip.
Right. The timeout.
Is that the one when he waved by to him? Did he wave by after he hit that?
No. 214. That's 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
That's when he come right in front of the bench.
Wow.
He gonna come up a double screen now. Look like he gonna come right in front of the bench. See, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was a wild.
Yeah, get mobbed by the whole team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they was talking crap that series too, boy.
Yeah. He did it.
Yeah,
that was a while ago. He don't hit some big ones.
Yeah, so right into it though. I blame the guy who on the out of bounds guy. He supposed to be stunned to the ball. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Way too late.
He stunned to the ball. I mean, that was easy. That was Roy. I mean, that was Rogers, I think, passed it to him. The one that hurt his leg, Brandon Rogers.
Look where he
2 feet
beyond the 3-point line though. He's shooting that deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Nick Batum. That's Nick Batum.
Okay, so, but I'm saying the other guy who out of bounds on defense for the stunt, right? He should have blocked it because he's supposed to follow the ball.
Right back to it.
Okay, it would have been a great night to be in Portland there. Look at the crowd. I miss the crowd. I hope we get to have some at the NBA games this year.
Yeah.
All right. Our next clip features one of our own here on the podcast. It's going to be the Earl Cureton dunk.
Earl. 2 hands, it got to be 1 hand.
Well, I can't wait to see this one.
It's 1 hand. Look at
how?
Damn. He's like Earl. You look like Scott Walker. You play for Philly. What's his name?
You was right there with me when that happened.
Yeah,
we not only that, we shut him down that night too. Beat New York 2 times that year. Then you requested the trade. You want to go get Cartwright.
Oh, look at that young fella right there.
I had some hair too. Oh, had some hair.
Yeah.
I ain't had no fro, but I had some hair.
Yeah.
I know that's your boy right there too, boy. I know how much you love him.
Who?
Patrick.
Earl Jones? Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I was his teammate once. I couldn't believe it. Like I said, life, they say if you live long enough, you're going to see a lot of things happen. Right now, we're seeing it. Patrick, the corona, we got a black president, we got a female vice president, so things happen.
There we go.
I know.
Put it into perspective for us.
Yeah, Twirl no longer 6'7", 6'8". He's totally 6'8" now.
That's hip replacement. That's old age. Hey, all my suits fit though. I had that blue pinstripe on the other day. Oh, ooh, man. Man, come on. That blue pinstripe on, boy.
Had the blue pinstripe.
Turtleneck with it on. Flower on the pail. Some brown shoes on.
Oh,
I thank you, Oak Tree. Courtesy of Oak Tree.
All right, we got one final play left in this segment. We're going to go back to 2001, game 1 of the NBA Finals. It's Philly and the Lakers. AI knocking down the shot and the step over Ty Lue, one of his most iconic moments.
Ty Lue getting the last laugh of that right now because he making $7-8 million a year. AI probably making $1 million a year.
AI was asked about it. He said he loves Ty Lue, so when he looks back on it, he says you don't know what you're going to do in the moment, but he feels a little bit bad about it. But it just kind of that's what happened in the game.
He was a badass. He don't feel bad about it.
Hey, that's his words.
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
That was a good moment there. Yeah, because nobody had them winning that game.
Yeah.
No, they said they won one. So
yeah.
Both of them had braids too. Battle of the braids.
You ain't kidding. I just noticed that.
Put some flavor to the shot.
Hey, that's good numbers.
Yeah. He's your fella been putting them up.
Incredible numbers. He up there with some of the all-time greats. You look at some of his numbers. His name mentioned in the same breath as Wilt with some numbers he got.
It is now my pleasure to introduce an OG in his own right and a legend as well. Spud Webb, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just trying to figure out to do with all this time other than play golf.
I think that's what a lot of people are doing. We had a little golf talk in the break there, so we know not to really ask about any details of your golf game, huh?
No, golfers never tell the truth, but that'll mess up the bet. Then my good buddy Muggsy go and tell Oakley, and then Oakley won't give me a bet.
My brother from another. How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, absolutely great. It's another day in paradise. Good with the election.
do you guys think about that turnaround with the season just ending and, getting a little bit of time off, but already getting ready to go again?
Well, I mean, a lot of those teams, they had a lot of time off before the bubble started. I mean, only a few teams, I think, going to be affected with the rest thing. I think a lot of those guys should be ready to go now.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So young,
some are probably itching to play.
Yeah. A lot of money to play for too.
Always that.
Yeah.
We had some fans give us some questions. If you had to play with a coach or a player from any era of the game, who would you pick and why?
I mean, you grow up watching Magic, so that'd probably be one of the players that you just you watch so much, you go, man, would it be like to play with him? So he would be one. There's a lot of good coaches that you say you wish you get to play for, and I had the opportunity to play for, Mike Fratello and Dick Motta and Lenny Wilkins. So, and it was a great playing with those guys, especially Lenny, because you never practice.
Yeah, I hear you. And for me, it's Spud hit it. Magic was the guy, for us. But going to have someone to play alongside with me that I can pass it to would be MJ. Someone that I knew that was going to finish and was going to give me assists every time I gave him the basketball. Wasn't going to dribble as much. So that's one. As far as coaches, as you said, so many of them that's out there. For me, the style of play, Doug Moe just stands out a lot for me. The way Denver, how they was up and down, and how they was able to, be so fluent with their offense. So that kind of stand out for me.
Man, that's a tough one. I play with everybody. But I tell you, you guys hit it on the button, though. I mean, point guards is always something I'm going to look at. Magic, I had a chance to play with Isaiah. I played with Mike. I played with you, Muggs. I knew it would have been a thrill to play with Spud. I was watching video on him when we played against them in the playoffs in '86, and and they beat us. But to have players that could get me the ball, I needed all the help I could get when I was playing. So a guy like Isaiah would always make me look better, make me 5 or 6 points better than what I was by getting me the basketball. Same with you, Muggs. In terms of coaches, way at the top with me is Rudy T and Chuck Daly were two guys that stand out in my mind as great coaches I had the opportunity to play for.
And obviously we have the NBA draft coming up next week.
He'd be Ron with that Miami, Ohio education. He probably don't know how to work, man. Earl, he don't know how to work it, Earl.
That's why he's got his daughter in the room, right? She was setting everything up earlier.
Oh, well, Jacqueline in there. He's good.
I know the feeling.
Me too. I got my pistol.
But you were the only one that did it on your own, because if we had pre-video of this, Brittany was in there. Earl had someone in there helping him.
Yeah.
Ron's daughter popped up. So everybody knew it.
Oh, y'all slow y'all roll now. Slow your role players. Slow your role player now. Hold on, players.
All right, let's bring in our next guest, right? Ron Harper.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Hold on, all that Miami, Ohio education. Slow your role player. I went to an institution of higher learning to get best. Let's get that right now. I discredit my school. Now I know what kind of athletes y'all have at NC State. What kind of students did y'all have?
So Ron Harper joining us now. We're finishing up our. We're getting everybody
Big
on
Daddy.
Right now. All right,
We got the tree on.
We got the chef. So how are everybody doing today?
I'm good, Big Daddy. I'm good now. How y'all good?
My boy Spudnik.
Yeah, man. I just got off the course, trying to get ready for you, Ron. I just got off the course.
Well, good luck. I've been I mean,
Oak Tree ready though. Oak Tree ready for you, Spud. Oak Tree been hitting that thing.
Ready.
Look at Big Daddy.
He gonna come.
You don't fell in love with LA, huh? You from Dancing with the Stars to cooking shows, huh? You getting it on out in LA.
Hey, gotta eat. You gotta eat. You gotta go to the bathroom. So
Wow. The eat part I like. The bathroom I don't know about.
I text Muggs. I got on the wrong bus. You know.
Well, now that we have everybody that was on the list for today.
What's up, man?
Hey, nothing, man. Waiting on you to come through Dallas.
You want to borrow some of my hair? You got to cut it off like Earl or get something like mine.
ain't no in between.
In between, you know what in between mean.
Hold on, there's a few guys that got some hairlines that shouldn't be having hair.
Hollywood. You're not wrong.
I can call a couple of my guys on my ex-teammates. I know.
Hey, we in good hands now. We got Hollywood.
You know that's right.
Look at it. Got the drink. Look at it.
Hey,
y'all know I'm doing this. I've been trying to get on. You know, I went to Black College, so I've been trying to get on for the last 40 minutes. And, hey, we ain't have 1,000 students, so we took our time getting in class.
Well, better late than never.
Yeah, but I'm doing this. I got to do this for my cooking show, chopping over Oak. So Ron, so wherever you local, we come to New York. So
when you come to New York, where are you at now? You move out west?
No, well, you know they working me now. I started working at 55. No, I'm back and forth.
Okay, you got.
I ain't got about 5 more hot minutes. I'm sorry, but next week I'll be on for the whole time.
Okay. All right, well let's go and dive in with Oak then.
Earl, you the old head, so you can carry. Hey, you got to carry me now. I carry you play with Chicago. Hey, give me.
I got you. Back. I'm on here with some superstars.
I ain't like Rick Mahorn. I'm about 260, about 460.
I know you're in shape. You know, I just want to tell you how good of a job you did, man. Dancing with the Stars.
Not the 213. We do it.
You ain't got. You got 5 minutes. We just want to hear your take on the league right now. I love some of the comments and things you say about the players. Like have you been watching the young guys that's coming into the league right now? And we talked about our best coaches we like playing for and what player you like to play for. Well, what about some of those questions right there?
The best coach. My thing when you're playing basketball, and we all play over 10 years, and that's longevity. So when you got a coach and the first month of training camp or first 2 days or whatever, I mean, when you got understand knowledge of the game, you figure stuff out quick. So when you get in the league for like I said, for a decade or more, you basically when you get going through these coaches, you know what they can do. Some of them just been roller skating through because of their name. So when you got real veterans, you can, in Toronto, I went through it with Lenny. He was just drinking coffee every morning and reading newspapers. He wasn't coaching anymore. So we go through that before
Hold on, man. That was my guy in Cleveland.
I know that guy.
Man, we ain't doing no practicing with Lenny.
Hey, he wasn't my guy in Toronto.
Mine either.
We in Philly. Hey Muggs, we beat New York in the 2 out of 3 series. Go to Philly, on roller skates, win the first game. We playing house money. Next game, we up 12. He want to sub everybody out. Man, let's go and put him away and then go home 2-0. But no, the league is, it's a roller coaster right now. LeBron's still the king. Now the guys, they want to get on the bus, but they can't drive it. And it's hard now unless you really understand the guys on your team. It's like you got to be like LeBron. You got to make sure detail every day, know what you're doing, know what the team's trying to do. It's to win the championship and come out and play hard every night. No lackadaisies. I get in that. But on the other hand, I get the guys a lot of proud for going down through playing in the bubble. I mean, they said it was hard, but they did it. Nobody got corona, knock on wood. So hey, they started back early. That might be a problem because they body,
Just speak
they
about
had
the bubble.
2-3 months.
Yeah, but they cry about.
They only 20 years old.
These guys
that's how they are now.
These guys got 5-star plane, 5-star food, 5-star hotel. They can't play. We caught the first flat out at 5:30 a.m. Had two degree, two fucking stars of food. Carry your own bag, and we played every night.
Well, they missed
three games in 3 nights.
Hey, it's like black college. It's like black college. They missed the haze today. Now you go online, you go over. You ain't got to play no more. There's no somebody, so it's a different time now. So they always say, well, it's our time. It's our time. But you know what? I tell them the light's going to turn red and the bats ain't changed. So it's still basketball. It's just they want y'all to, they making so much money they can't hide it. So when we played, they was hiding the money. We got holes in our pockets.
well, continue to keep talking about the bubble. We all know the state of the culture right now. And, when we play, we want to, and I was saying earlier, I don't know if I could have went down to the bubble and play. How you think it impact the players? And not only that, what do you think about LeBron and his leadership, as well as Chris Paul and them being able to create that situation and allowing them guys to go down and play in the bubble?
Well, they held the owner accountable for is like when the guys from Milwaukee didn't play in the game because what happened to one of the players, not happened while they was in the bubble. They were down in the bubble to make a statement. And they made a statement, but now what happened when you come this season? You gonna make that statement again? Are y'all gonna still wear the names on your jersey for the whole season? If you make a statement, do that for the next 10 years, that's a statement. Wear them jerseys, wear the names of the people who passed during that time. And while you was down in Orlando, while you was protesting, leadership and, equal opportunity and all of that. So I just want the guys just, stay on it. Don't let the owners, they already trick you down there in the bubble. Now, don't let them trick you twice. They're going to lock you out. Every time the owner lose money, they blame the players. When they make money, they don't call nobody and blame them. So I just want the players to know that, hey, it's a hard situation, but they making a lot of money. So it's hard for them to turn the money down they making. And you got to leave like 80% of the guys overpaid. So it's hard to lock, it's hard to say, we don't want this deal. They're going to take every deal they got.
You think the NBA maximized the fan base and kept the interest of the fans, or vice versa?
I think, like I said, the ratings was down. It was hard to watch some of them games. Like I say, if you can watch certain guys because they're going to play the right way. Ain't about 3 or 4 guys going to play the right way, and you had 1, maybe 2 in the bubble, and 2 of them was on the same team. So that's easy math. But you didn't have KD, you didn't have Steph, 2 of the top 5 guys, and LA had 2 of the other, top 5 guys, so it was 1 guy left. I don't know if the Greek Freak, KD, Kawhi Leonard. A lot of guys, expected they wanted to see the LA and the Clippers series, but it didn't happen. And that was in the championship. Huh?
That was food goal.
Yeah.
That was food goal. Everybody thought that was going to happen.
Clippers knew what was going to happen. That's why they ducked them. Well, they let them beat them.
It was definitely food goal because everybody like, oh, it's going to be a LA Western Conference Finals. And I knew all along that you just can't put 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on the team and think they're gonna jail, and you miss 2, 3 months. Kawhi is a great player, but he ain't a great teammate. He's a guy who comes to play hard every day, but don't go to work hard every day. If I'm on the court every day, why ain't he on the court every day? I play with some of the greatest players. MJ practice every day. Kobe Bryant practice every day. Shaquille O'Neal practice every day. Larry Nance, bro, we all practice every day. Why he can't practice every day?
So you think it's his leadership? You think that lacked the leadership?
That lack leadership and what the players have respect for him. Because if this is your team, you gotta lead by example. You can't lead like we used to always say. You can't make the team when you in the jacuzzi and you gotta be on the court. You can't make the team.
Hey, while Oak and Harper's on here, and I played in Chicago for a while too. What do you guys think about the Last Dance? Was that close to accurate of things that happened down there? How y'all feel about that?
I said it was 70%.
70%. Well, I said it was Come Fly in Me Part 2. It was all about MJ. I ain't mad at it. It was his team. He had a great career. He had a great second tier run, it was more about his view. It wasn't more about what the other players on the team saw. You didn't see some other guys, and hey, I ain't mad at it. It is what it is, and like everybody always say, "Oh, you got to be mad at it." I said, "Listen, I lived it. I don't really give a shit about it no more.
Right.
I lived it. I did it."
It's like a movie. It's a sequel to the Hall of Fame speech. That's all. All his teammates. He went corporate at the Hall of Fame, and last damn he went with all the teammates. What drove him? Half of them couldn't play. So I mean, man, and you get ranked like Kevin Love with LeBron. He stressed me out. He this and that. In Minnesota, you got 25-9, they make the playoff. Now you get 18-10, you get a championship. I don't like the guys complain about all this. I mean, it's just a shame to see.
It's two sides. It's two sides to it, and like everybody always say, "Oh, you gotta be mad at MJ." Listen, we boys always to the end. We ride or die. Lived the life, was a great time, enjoyed it. Great player, great teammates.
Hey, like Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5. Y'all was the 5, he was Michael.
He was 4.
Randy came with Jackson 5, he was solo. So, hey, they enjoyed the moment. Michael left, other Michael left, but you know what? Hey, two guys in their own way, the best what they did.
And the only thing that I didn't like was they try to divide us. They try to divide it. And now they did do Scotty wrong as hell. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Well, yeah, they did.
Scotty wrong, but he did it to himself. But Scotty did it to himself.
He should never put Jerry Krause on the bus. I told Scotty, Jerry Krause drafted you. No matter what happened.
No. Jerry Krause did not draft him. He made a trade for him. He didn't draft him.
Jerry name is on them checks, not Jerry Krause.
I've been saying this. I've been saying this since I played there. Everybody blaming Jerry Krause. It's Jay Reinsdorf. Blame him. It ain't Krause. It's Reinsdorf. Reinsdorf write them checks. He say everything, Krause, you go down there. You say this, Krause. You do this, Krause. Boy, you say this, Krause. Now I'm going to fire you. Krause was like, okay, I'm going to say this.
I wish Krause was here to defend himself. I call him Crumbs, but Jerry was
Krause.
Traded me, brought me back.
I'm going to ask you this, I'm going to ask you this, When you walk down the hallway, did Jerry Krause ever say to you, hi?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I played it 5 years. That motherfucker never said how the fuck to me.
He didn't slap you.
That's okay. I signed up with that motherfucker. I signed a free agent. So he said, we walked down the hallway. He should say hi to me.
Hey,
I said hi to Spud. I said hi to Earl. I said hi to Muggsy. I said hi to y'all. Why you can't say, hey, Harper, how you doing? How the family?
Hey, Ron, he had his game face on.
Hold on. But
he didn't speak to you. He didn't speak to Mike. He speak to
Hold on, wait. The funny part of the whole thing was when we won the first championship, he walked down the hallway, he saw me, he tried to hug me. I said, back your little short ass up. I said, you try to trade me. Phil told me you didn't want me here anymore. I didn't expect that you could still do the things that you do. I said, well, don't hug me then. Get your ass out of here.
All right, I went through that with Earl Cureton.
You ain't gonna shit on me and then try to hug me. You know, Cleveland know what we do to people.
Same thing Earl Cureton did. At the end of the season, we gonna meet with him and talk about the season, what we're gonna do next year. I met with him and David Check for about 2 hours. Next thing I know, they traded me about 2 weeks later. I said, you already knew that anyway. So I see him at John Stock golf tournament in Long Island. He gonna come try to shake my hand. I was about to throw a glass of tea on him. You ain't gonna shake my hand, just trade me, and then you waste my time for 2 hours.
So, I'm gonna ask you one thing, I recall that when we was at the Player Association eating in New York, it was MJ, Ewing, me, Karl Malone, and Charles Barkley. Why you slap the man in his head? Why? Just tell me why.
What happened? I had to put my hands on him. I put my hands on him, and then we had a seat in front of the lockout. That was it.
I ain't gonna tell y'all the whole thing. 'Cause it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we was in New York.
Oh, the meeting was in New York. So me and him, Jay flies up there, and the first thing he tells me is, when Oak walk in the room, you got to hold him. I said, shit, I'm 225 pounds. Oh, I said, I know Oak. I've been with Oak since I came in the league. He said, he don't walk right up to Charles and slap him. I said, no, he ain't. No, he ain't. MJ said, you got to grab him. And so Oak, Oak cleaned and boy to hell. Got the hat on and everything. I'm like, damn, my boy Big Daddy at the door. He walked right over to Charles. You in my seat, bitch.
I would like
your ass up. Like Mike did Holmes. Baby. Come on, Oak, stop hitting me. Get out my seat. Charles sat over at the end of the door by himself.
In the back of the room.
Back of the room.
Him and Isaiah need to be having dinner together. Both of them crying about MJ. MJ won't play golf with me. MJ won't. Isaiah, let it go. Charles, I told you, ain't no more 36 holes.
That's good.
They can't win. But
you can't. You say you can't win.
I mean, no, they keep trying to go in like Isaiah was talking about. They said names your top 5 guys or whatever. I mean, he had a point, but his point don't matter when you talk against a GOAT. Everybody ain't gonna live, like a little calf. That's Isaiah. You get with some milk or something. But they was talking about his top 5 teams. Who gave him problems. Whatever I guess he named Kareem, Magic.
It just hating.
Dr. J.
Just hating.
Somebody else that had
Larry Bird.
I tell you what. What's you guys' definition of the GOAT?
GOAT.
Don't lose in the final, I guess.
Everybody has an opinion. Like everybody has an asshole.
I got to go with Kareem. Kareem made a statement. He said, before you start talking about the GOAT, somebody give him the answer to Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain.
Tell Kareem he flipping like Jim Brown did. They was good. They was for the moment. Now they ain't changed. Now they going to church.
Hold on. Let's talk about this guy named Spud Webb.
Yes, but
let me tell you how I met the slam dunk. Let me tell you how I met the slam dunk champion.
How you met the slam dunk champion?
Listen, Earl. My senior year college, Spud with a dunk contest, right? So when I get to the NBA, I get drafted to the Cleveland, right? They retired 34 because Austin Harper was a great player. And how the card said, Ron, I'll be an honor you wear 34. I said, Austin, man, you're a great player. I'm not wearing 34. So they said, what you gonna wear? I said, damn, Spud won a dunk contest. I'm gonna wear 4. So I didn't play all preseason. The third game, we played the Hawks, and Spud hurt. And I run up the court, and I keep hearing the guy talking about number 4. They call you the next Dr. J. Make something happen.
What the hell you gonna do something?
So I'm like a damn Dominique. Who's that little motherfucker sat on the bench? I thought he was a ball boy. Dominique said, man, that's Spud Webb. I said, what? The dunk champ? I said, yeah, that is Spud. So I'm back down. I said, give me time. I'll make something happen. I come off the screen and roll. I rose up, bang one. I turn to him. He's like, make it happen again. I'm like, hey, ain't no problem. It's what I do. So after the ball game, I'm in there changing the clothes. He says the young ball boy over there. He said, hey, go ask Harper. He want to go out to eat. So he comes over there. He said, Spud want me to ask you. I said, Spud want me to ask me what? I'm like, Spud want me what? I'm slobbering. Spud want to ask you what? I'm like, oh my, no, hey coach, I'm on the bus, coach. Coach was like, what? I said, man, my boy, I just got invited with Spud Webb, slam dunk champ. What young rookie gonna say no to Spud Webb? Now players in this day maybe say no, but I was like, I'm going with Spud Webb. Like I'm listening. And ever since then, utmost respect for what Spud Webb career was and what he done as a player, but who he is. He's a great human being. Earl, now Earl, I know you and Spud is really cool, but that's my boy now. That's my boy.
No.
Also, Oak just pieced out on us, right? He just
You know, Oak about that cash now. About that cash.
He spoke his piece on his way out. Oak had a lot to say.
He said enough.
I thought that was a long 5 minutes, wasn't it?
He wanted to stay. He found some time, right, when it came to the story.
I want to switch over to Muggs and Spud, though, because you guys are like, you know, two of the smallest players to ever play the game, similar situations, you know, had to face all kind of adversity to play in the league, you know, and Spud, you know, you came in, I didn't even know to just recently that you was drafted by Detroit, because I was in Detroit in '85, and they didn't even bring you in the training camp.
It was like 20 rounds.
Right, yeah, you know, they had all these rounds, but anyway, you ended up in Atlanta, and I saw that game. I was talking about this morning where you actually won the game 5 that knocked Detroit out the playoffs that year. With the 2 free throws at the end, even though I don't think you got fouled at the end there, but you made those 2 free throws.
He got fouled.
But then you and Muggs played against each other in college too. I just both of y'all to speak on, what was, I know the motivation was people telling you no, but I mean, it had to be really a strong motivation for you guys to reach the level that you did reach as players, in terms, and Spud, Duncan ain't got nothing to do with your game because you did everything out on the court. Distribute the basketball. You wasn't a liability on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, you worked on your game completely. You don't get enough credit for doing that, for running the team, getting people involved. So they don't talk about all that stuff. So I just want you guys to speak on it a little bit, because I was amazed playing with Muggsy. I played with Michael. I played with Dr. J. I played with Akeem Olajuwon and all these guys. But Muggs was probably one of the most amazing athletes that I saw at 5'3", and the same to you.
Yeah, first of all, with Ron, we since that day, we spent all summer traveling together, playing golf together, even to this day. And his daughter called me uncle, and my kids called her Uncle Ron. So we've been friends. I done lost how many years it's been, but that friendship will never nobody come between that friendship that we have. And with Muggs, we in college playing against each other, and just respect his quickness and the way he played, and respect how hard he played. And then we start playing against each other in the NBA, and he would come up to me and go, "Man, if you didn't play well last year, they wouldn't have drafted me in the first round, because they didn't know what to do." So we've been friends ever since then. So, you never bring the ball up. We be in the meetings, you be in there, you go, you bringing the ball up tonight, because if Muggsy on you, do not dribble the ball, And his quickness, respect, and his stats. It was one day that I was talking to him, and I was like, maybe because I'm not a stat guy, a point guard back then didn't care about stats other than getting an assist, because, you had the inside out game back then. So I looked up his stats, and you like, man, he had a lot of rebounds. Man, he had a lot of blocks at his size and things like that. So this all around game shows why people respect him. And every time we meet up, it's just like we're brothers and look at each other and think the same thing that you say to each other, and the respect and honor that he's a family guy. He's a charity he does. He's not arrogant, because I don't really try to do it with anybody that's arrogant other than Ron.
Well, I got 5 rings though.
Earl, we're gonna play for them damn
Earl, hold on, Earl. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. When I played for Chicago, and so me and Phil was real cool, and he was with Charlotte, and Spud played for the Hawks. So we had a good play. Harp go down low, post up. But I made a deal with Muggsy and Spud. If you don't steal the ball, I won't run along the post. I won't post you. So Phil called my play. Center opposite. You know the play, Earl. Center opposite, guard, swing it. And now on the post, Phil kept calling it. I'm like this. He like, what are you doing? Run a post. Muggsy Spud up. I said, hey, coach, as soon as Steve Kerr come in the game, you're gonna see why I got this deal. every time Steve Kerr turn around and dribble the ball, they still lay it up. They will never do that to me. And it feel like, what kind of deal y'all got? I said, I can't run in the post. They don't steal the ball. Ain't that right, Muggs? I'm like, hey, no way. I can't run the post on my guys.
Nah, that was a hell of a deal to make.
That was the smartest deal I ever made.
That was a smart deal right there.
These guys are so low. They was one of the toughest defensive players of all time. Because these days, they don't really play 84 feet, 94 feet. They get to half court, slap their hand. No, pick up at the foul line, pick up at the baseline, turn the guy 2-3 times. These two guys, I just be like, man, I hate playing.
Muggs would take the ball and the guy still be dribbling. The guy still think he got the ball.
That's
what messed me up. Guy still trying to dribble. He going the other way with it. And would let you pass him on purpose. He lets you go by him and then come behind you and take the ball away from you. So.
Yeah, that was my way. But it goes like Spud said, man. It's, the day I met Spud, it was because we both came in the ACC together. I came in as a freshman, and he was coming in, during his sophomore year, his junior year. And it was just, totally respect the very first moment we played against each other, the first most time we met each other. And then being able to, go on and play each other against one another in the NBA was such an ultimate. But he was right. It was all predicated on his success. What he did, he was the one that setting that stage and setting the tone. And I always wanted to, follow that footstep. And one of the things that I wanted to focus on is trying to do it like all the big guys did it, like everybody did it. And coming from the ACC, we had that platform to where a lot of guards was really, being recognized out of that conference. You had the Mark Price and the Kenny Smiths, and you go down to Keith Gatlin, and you go down to Clemson. You had Vince Hamilton. So the list went on. So I want to just try to follow that footstep and do as much as I can to put myself in the best situation. And I think Spud led that way for me, and that's one of the reasons why I was able to get drafted. When he got drafted, that fourth round and going to Cleveland or Detroit, and then wind up making it to Atlanta and really showcasing how successful a smaller guy can really be and impact the game. I knew from that moment on what I had to do as my junior year, going forward, because that was the confidence booster for me, knowing that a guy who impacted the game like that, I know it was a way for me and a means for me. And what Ron just touched on, that was our bet. We had a bet that where we took care of one another. And, when you play against players like that and you have that respect with each other, because when you get them between the lines, we forget about any of that stuff. We out there competing. But, and that, we got players that where you looked at and you respect, you kind of allow to play the game a lot more easy and freely when you kind of, on the same page with players. So, that was the response. That was the relationship that we had as players. And then Twirl with us was Charlotte. Man, when I first met him, I was so young, and he was the vet. Him, Kelly Tripucka, and Kirk Rambis, and those guys, and Ricky Green. They came in, and they was more or less the vet of the crew. We just wanted to fit in. Me, Dal, and Rex Chapman, just trying to blend in. And with Twirl was always that leader, that voice, telling us, come on, guys, you guys could do it. Don't matter what Dick, we had a coach.
That's your favorite coach, right?
Who?
Oh, Dick Harder.
Big Harder.
Oh, my God. Big Harder. I had him, too.
You had him, too?
The Cavaliers.
You had him at the Cavs? Well, when we had him in Charlotte, he just went on a rampage every game. Of course, he was a coach of the expansion team, and
he right after every day.
Right after the game, we played the Lakers. Halftime, he just ripped everybody a new butthole. He went down the line from Del Curry. In order you can help us, you got to score 30 because your man going to get 40. It went down with Muggsy Bogues. Assist don't mean shit in this league, son. He told one kid, to one kid, just looked at him, just said, "Oh, fuck you." Then he told one kid, "We gonna hire somebody with a baseball bat and come here and make you tough, kids. Do you realize y'all a bunch of guys nobody wanted?"
He told
told all 12 of us.
No, they'll tell Dale Curry, you've been in the league, son, 4 years. You've been on 4 teams. What that tell you?
What that tell-
Damn.
He had the nerve.
He said it's a halftime.
He had the nerve to go in our owner's office. George Shen was the owner. Of course, George ended up with 5'5". He got on his knees and put his arms up and told George Shen, "George, this is what I'm faced with every night when I'm playing Muggsy." And Lord knows,
Shut up.
the owner was only 5'5", so you realize, he was fired the next
He
day.
burnt his last bridge. Yeah.
Shut up. Did it for real?
He did it. Yeah, that's how crazy. Yeah. He had Dick went in the
They
office.
gave me that kind of guy.
I had him for a long time. I had him in Detroit, and
Did you?
Well, he was rest in peace, but he.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Dick. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious for each of you, is there a player in the league right now that reminds you of yourself at all? Or you're kind of like, nah, nobody comes close to my style of basketball and what I brought to the court?
Well, the thing about the game that we love playing a game, to their game, and I tell my kids, it's all about social image. We didn't give them about that. We just wanted to win. We just wanted to step on the court, to play hard, and to be a part of a good basketball team. We all played on some bad basketball teams. We all played on some good basketball team. Today game is all about social image and the shoes I wear, the clothes I wear, the car I drive. Who gives a shit? The name of the game is to just win. If you win, you're going to be a part of something special. And I talked to my son, and my son, we didn't have a strength coach. We didn't have a basketball coach. Today, player only could play with the basketball. They can't play without the basketball. And
Yeah,
I know.
Go ahead, Ron.
And I know that the rules have changed where you can't play defense. You got to try to play defense. You got to make a hard foul. I don't care. Guy go to the hole, make a hard foul. Forget what the flagrant, all that. It's not great basketball, but it's still basketball. And until the game going to change. Right now, it's an offensive ball game. It's not a defensive game. So they got the fans fooled where every team is going 120 points, 135 points. You're still getting blown out. You still got the top tier team. You still got the lower tier team. It's the same, but you got to allow guys to compete. Fans want to see you compete. Until we get back at fans saying we want to see a competitive game, where it's an 89, 87 game, New York Knicks, Detroit Pistons, Chicago, the Miami Heat. That's real basketball. This basketball is full gold.
It'll be hard to find a player to remind you of Ron Harper, and I may it too. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but you came out of college. You scored 2,000 points in the MAC conference down there, and came in as a star.
Without a shot, I couldn't shoot.
Yeah, he came in knocking down shots and scoring. But at the same time, you got 5 championship rings now, because you very easily could have took the high road and wanted to be the man and wanted to consistently be the lead, the guy that's going to run a team. Even though I think you guys might have had a chance if you'd have stayed in Cleveland. Of taking over the East.
Well, Earl, let's talk about that trade now. Now.
Yeah.
Let's do it, because I'm tired of everybody putting their spill on this trade. Nobody really want my spill.
Did you want to be traded?
I had no concept. I wanted to stay in Cleveland. I'm from Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. 3.5 hours, my hometown. Loved it. Now, there's been a lot of rumors out there been thrown off the fucking wall, which I wouldn't address, but I'm with family now. So I'm gonna give you the real spiel. So they said I was on drugs. They said I was hanging out with drug dealers. They said I was trying to date the owner daughter. Had anybody ever heard I failed a drug test?
No.
Had anybody ever heard I dated the owner daughter?
No.
They came to me and said, "You are out in the A club." I said, "Yes, I am. I'm young." And my basketball coach told me, "Listen, when it affect what you do on the basketball court, I will talk to you about changing who you are." So Wayne Embry went to Miami of Ohio, my same school, Spud. And you know, Spud, because we were playing the Hawks that next day, I took you out that same damn night I got traded. So they traded me, and all these rumors came out. None of them was true. I told Wayne Embry year 2, he told me, put me in. I heard you was at this club. They passed. I was waiting on Oak. I'm outside of my car. Oak was inside, said a friend. I'm waiting on Oak on a Friday night to go out. Wayne, drugs, man. I said, Wayne, listen, I put my $500,000 up, put the team $500,000 up, donate to charity. I take a drug test, anything. I said, you gonna find some Bud Light and some Crown Royal? You ain't gonna find an ounce of drug in this body. And then I told him, the security guards used to tell y'all I was in the gym at 12:30 at night shooting. And I'm the first one back in the next day at 8. So how am I on drugs? And they were like, well, the owner, Gordon Gunn, who could not see, said, trade me. And I thought it was Wayne Embry the whole time. But come to find out, Gordon Gunn said it's bad for the image of Cleveland. I thought
you went on and made it great, though. I tell you that. I mean, you took a role in Chicago. I mean, a big role. But by you doing what you did, enabled you to get 5 championship rings. And you talking about it's just all about winning. You enjoyed your career. You played, made money, and you won. You know, that's the most important thing.
Well, the thing was, Coach Phil, and I love Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson probably was, maybe as everybody say, he coached a lot of great players. But look at the guys who coached those great players before him. They did not win shit. Phil got those players to fill in and become role players to do the part that they have to do. And me and Phil, when I went to Chicago Bulls, MJ was retired. So when MJ was in the gym, I'm like, what you here every day for? He said, I'm not going to play no more basketball. Then at the All-Star break, he decided to come back. So me and Phil had a talk. He said, I'm going to have to figure it out. I said, okay. Hey, coach, no problem. Listen, I just want to be a part of a great team. So after we got beat by Ando, we came in for the end of the year. Phil said, can you play point guard? I said, I played point guard in high school. He's like, shit, you did? He said, I'm going to start you, MJ, and Scotty. And then that's how the story goes on. It was like, I said, coach, I just want to win. If I get 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots a game, and all my friends were calling me, you scoring 7 points. You're not in the top 10 of scoring no more.
No matter.
I'm 35-2. You think I give a shit about scoring? 35-2.
A lot of young guys don't look at it like that. That's why you won't find a Ron Harper in the league right now.
No.
I didn't care,
and that's why it's hard to find anybody that kind of remind you of yourself. And speaking of point guards, we still got a lot of small guards that's out there. And Spud, you was one of the guys that kind of mentor and kind of trained Nate Robinson during that dunk contest. What was that experience like?
Well, it's funny. I had never met Nate before, but every time he came on TV, one of the coaches or one of the former players would be calling me, man, you got to watch this guy. You got to watch this guy. He's an incredible athlete. And then he got drafted to New York. And as you know, with Herb, me, Ron Harper, Oak, all us, we all buddies. And Herb Williams called me and said, man, this got to be the greatest athlete I ever seen. This dude just did a cartwheel and dunked at practice.
Cartwheel?
Yeah, man. This dude did a cartwheel, man, and dunked. But All-Star weekend, I had stopped going to All-Star weekends. And Herb called me about Nate wanted to talk to me about this idea he had. And I was like, Herb, man, I just never go. And as agents started calling and Nick started calling, and so I went up there the day before, and I had never met Nick. And we walked in the gym, and Reggie Miller and other guys was over there getting ready for their TNT show, and he said, "Just stand right here." I mean, the dude ain't stretched, ain't warmed up, ain't took off no warm up or nothing. And he just said, "Bounce the ball," and I'm catching dunk. He walked out the half court. I bounced the ball, ran and dunked. He dunked it like 5 times in a row. And he said, "We'll do that tomorrow if I need to get in the finals." You know, we had to use it early because Iguodala was doing some stupid dunks, so he had to use me early just to get in the finals. But that's me and Nate, how we became friends and talk all the time now and text and stuff like that. So but this dude, man, played football. Now I heard he talking about boxing. Man, this dude is
he boxing.
Yeah,
I saw that.
He must be a hell of an athlete to do all those types of things.
Quick, what are your final thoughts?
I just want to say thank you guys. Appreciate y'all taking part of this. Of course, you know, when you got friends that just chit chat and enjoy the dialogue, you know, we always in a good place for one another. And I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedule to jump on with us, because you know this is family. This is what family do.
Thanks. Thanks for having me. And you know, you hear about these things all the time, but to get to come on with the guys that you truly respect and they respect the game and respect each other. It's easier when like they say, Ron Harper and Earl and Oakley and Muggsy wants you to do it. I mean, it's like how soon did it take me to say yes when you text me? Yeah, because that's, you know, you respect guys like that.
Spud. When that was the same way when Muggsy sent me a text, "Hey, big fella, I want you to come to my party." I'm like, "Oh, whatever." Like, it's easy to do it with friends that you respect and that you have a good time with. Now, I wouldn't do it with everybody now.
Right.
Damn sure now. I've been asked
Now,
a lot
Earl,
to do some
he gonna say
podcasts and
this
show.
Earl, he ain't gonna say this same shit on the golf course. He's gonna be talking noise and pushing you down on the golf course. Like, the damn game over, Ron.
Earl, you know I nothing but respect for you, Earl. Love you, Earl, man.
Pushing you down on the golf course.
Spud, you know I got 2 elbows on you 2 bones. When I see you 2, I'll sharpen them up for you. Hey, I got you 2 on my list. Thank y'all very much.